this coming together. Because the purpose of coming together in this time when the world going through so many difficulty is a great purpose in there. And to come together in one spirit and one heart, this can be so powerful for the changing of the world. Our humble hope that what we will share with you tonight will strengthen your vision of your value or work, of your good work that each one of you have been doing in helping our planet in many, many great different ways. So let us share humbly about what we have been doing in the last 4 decades, over 4 decades, as clinical psychologists. As we said before, as the introduction of Eloise said that our main purpose in life is to serve the humanity for the high good. So our work has been in the area of mental health, but also mostly also in value-based education. Because education is something so important that we can change the world. And in the moment when the world going through difficult time, and as also mentioned by Eloisa, the rate of mental health and mental illness is so increased every day. So the education and mental health have to work together. In 1987, together with our friend, a philanthropic businessman, John Fitzgerald, we established a school for boys aged 9 to 14 years who are not welcome in any other educational setting because of their severe behavioral and emotional problem. We gave the name of the school Tugulawa. It is from Aboriginal name. It means place in the heart. So with this background of our boy who came to us with so many traumatic experiences, so we helped them to really finding the place in their heart in different way, different strategy in our teaching. So our school based on what we call it human value education or value-based education.
So essentially the approach here is that we regard each child as having a level of wisdom and love inside themselves, which is not recognized by others around them. So this is a general philosophy of how we regard human beings, that we really are deep down much wiser and more loving than we realize. And this is what we bring to the children. We say to them that who you are is a diamond. But you might think a diamond, well, how could I be a shining diamond? Well, it so happens that diamond's covered in mud. And the mud is not who you are. You're the diamond. And when you come to the school, we're going to help you wash away the mud.
This is the metaphor that's so beautifully accepted by them. We say to them, in each one of you, there is this beautiful diamond. We look in their eyes when we say that, and you could see that the eyes that lit something that they recognize. And I said to them, have you seen diamond? Yes, we have seen it. It's, but before we can have the diamond, then how people get the diamond, they have to dig in this earth to find this beautiful, valuable diamond. And through this digger, of course, the diamond can cover with mud, can cover with all the dirt, but the real value is the diamond that always shines. So I said that coming to our school is to help them to wash away this mud
And it's such a relief for them to hear this because until they come to the school, people have been relating to them as this angry, depressed boy and somebody they really don't want interrupting the classroom in other schools. And we say, well, that's not who you are. You know, we know who you are. You're extraordinary. You're amazing. You're beautiful. And as Eloisa pointed out before, one of our books is called Love Changes Everything. And it's the essence of love that runs through the school that brings about the change of the boy. But it's easy to say that, but not easy to do. Because to love a boy who's angry, who spits on you, who pushes you, insults your mother, and so on, it requires the teachers to go through a transformation themselves.
Yeah.
We say to the teachers, if we want to set alight a number of small sticks and logs, what we have to do is place a burning log amongst them. You, the teachers, are the burning log. You have to burn away those qualities within yourself which are standing in the way of you being a truly loving human being.
Yeah, for the teacher, they have also the commitment to find the place in the heart, to find this light, this beautiful diamond within themselves, so that they can become the exemplar for the student. When they could experience, that the teacher also really doing the same thing, perhaps. Also, the experience, the love that the teacher have to learn in a many deeper way, not just coming to school to work, to get something or to enjoy themselves, but also to come to the school because they love for the boy and they are connected with that love within the boy. So that's it's not easy to find teachers who are ready today. But at the moment we have 40 teachers and 120 students, boys only. Because we started with the boys in 1987. And people said, why not a girl? Because girls have also same problem. Many also in the moment the same almost perhaps. The problem that our boys have in that age. But I think that because they are a different strategy to deal with their whole personality as a girl. So we are waiting for one day that we are ready for doing a school only for girls. So that the school activities is all the curriculum activities based on these 5 human values of love, truth, right conduct, non-violence, and peace. So let's go through all this activities during the day. So when they start the day in the morning,
it's very moving when visitors come to, they have this expectation of being amongst the over 100 boys who are not wanted in other schools. They think it's going to be mayhem. But what happens is they see all of these boys sitting there quietly, and then the ceremony begins. They say, let us begin with our sacred words. So all the students and teachers put their hands together and say to a heart, and they say, we start the day with love, we fill the day with love, we end the day with love. This is the way we live. So they say this every morning. And of course, this is having its effect on the subconscious mind. When a boy first comes to the school and hears these words, he thinks this is a crazy place. But by the end of the day, he's looking forward to coming back because there's this feeling of acceptance and love, knowing that they're not the mud, they're the diamond.
and also they have a little ceremony before they started school that one of the boy came forward in a small altar where there is a, the emblem of the school. The emblem of the school is really a big heart, and then in the hand of the universe, we call it, in the hand of God. And then in both sides, there is two figure, one bigger figure and one smaller figure. And as if that is really that the teacher offer that serve the boy. The teacher kneel in the front of the boy. So the ceremony started with one of the boy lighted the flame and said loudly, "As I like this flame, we like also the flame of love, truth, right conduct, non-violence, and peace, which lie within us all." Remind them that this like of love and all this value in the heart, in the place that they are seeking to find again and again. And then we have also the morning session, we concluded with a prayer. It's called forbearance prayer. So I started it.
It says, let us have forbearance towards each other. Let us rejoice together. Let us all strive together. And it goes on, and they all say it together.
And then at the end of the prayer, they all put their hand together. And then they'll go to all around to each other and say, we honor.
They say, Namaste. We honor the goodness in each other.
So that is the start of the day. So important. Become the culture of the school. At the end of the day, they sit together, and they, one of the boy being chosen, or they also, say that he want to be the one who who take a flame in there, and then go through each of the students and say, may this light of love or light of peace guide you home and throughout the night. So that's what we concluded the day.
So that's just some of the rituals we do. But of course, the curriculum side, like we're a school, the children are there to learn, but the approach to learning is different in that the teacher endeavours to bring the values into everything that they're teaching.
Yeah. To be example, that they live the value every day.
So they can see the point of their education is not just to learn the ABC, but to see how that can be of use to society, how they can help others with the knowledge that they're gaining.
For more information, you can go to our website, tugulawa.com.au. Then you've got more detail in there, the whole curriculum activity, etc. In 2012, together with our dearest friend, the latest Father Charles Ogada in Nigeria, we established a children's home and a school, a human values school, in the rural area of Enugu in Nigeria. It's we call it our sister school of Tugulawa. The same approach, every part of that. We started in 2012 with only 12 children in the children's home. And then with the 12 children, we started school. And now, 10 years or 13 years after that, we have 1,300 students in the school. The school involves also nursery, kindergarten, primary, and high school. And in the children's home, that we have 40 boys and girls living there. So the name of the school also somehow, because we are connected in a way, we give it the name. The school name is the Embodiment of Love Academy. And the children's home have the home of love.
These names are indicating to the children that who they are is an embodiment of love. It's who we truly are. We've been to Nigeria 5 times, and we're part of the training, not only of the teachers there, but other over 1,000 teachers throughout Enigu as well. It's a great privilege. The society there is just ready to blossom into something truly beautiful.
In 2022, with few committed friends in value-based education in Australia, we organized an educational summit. The theme of the summit is Embracing Education with the Heart. And the summit has been attended by over 80 eminent educationists from around the world. They're participating in sharing their vision of education with the heart, the value-based education. Also involve, again, as we're talking about this value-based education, it involves also the whole person education. It involves also the psychological, all the part of that to become whole, become a human excellence, we call that. So in the 2023, a year after the summit, few of the 80 participants decided to form the Global Alliance for Value-Based Education, called GAVE.
Called GAVE. So this is in its early beginnings, and the aim is to pull together all of the people and the ongoing research throughout the world that's happening with values-based education, because we truly believe that without education of the children, where there's a bigger focus on character, more focus on character than on educational development, the world's not going to resolve its issues.
As clinical psychologists, of course, we think, most also part of our work is the mental health. And so our work in mental health has been involved in training teachers, training parents, training people who are really, really going through life, but also want to have a better life by changing themselves. We call it self-transformation. So there's our training and take form in individual training, but also at the moment many Zoom training can be on a monthly basis, can be also in a type of mentoring, continuing for a certain time period. We feel that in the work that we're doing, of course, the mental health is also very, very important. But emphasis now is the value-based education and mental health. So in our training, in every part of the training, we're looking into also the problem, how we can help our children to tap into that self more. The self that really have the resilience, have belief in themselves, that they are a valuable human being, that we are all have this beautiful shining light within ourselves. Can call it the divine light. And also that we started to do that with the parents, if they have a problem also, that the parents also become the example we have. for their children and in the relationship. So our workshop involves also with the parent in parenting, how they really value their role as a parent in the world and how important it is, their role. So with, want to say anything else? So with this, perhaps we stop here and then give you perhaps some opportunity to question. Because I just want to say that from your question, with the sharing from each one of you, we will also learn very valuable things from what we come together tonight.
Thank you. I have a question that has appeared in our chat box, and I think it's very important for us to clear it. The question reads, is this a secular effort or is there a religious affiliation? Because as you well know in Rotary, we're very respectful of each and everyone's affinities, and we don't talk about politics or religions. So I know that we are on the same page with you. So I would just like for you to offer a reply to this question, if you would be so kind.
Yes, yeah. Well, in the school in Australia, the word God is not mentioned very often because so many children and their parents, they don't believe in God. But to us, that doesn't really matter. All that matters is that they believe in a higher principle of some form or other, and that we are part of that. And so the message we give to the children and the parents are that they really are this extraordinary human being. We say to the boys, you're a king who's gone to sleep. You don't realize you're a king. In a sense, this is the essence of all spiritual teachings. So we have respect for all religions.
Yeah.
And in the storytelling part of what is involved in this form of education, occasionally there's reference to a story from Buddha or Jesus or Krishna or Muhammad, but mostly they're stories from everyday life to illustrate how living the human values brings this sense of joy within oneself, brings great inner peace, and you feel a sense of being of use to society. So, we've had Father Charles O'Gara come to the school, but there's no focus on the Christian or the Buddhist, but they're all accepted. Atheists are accepted. We endeavour to find a language which suits everybody.
And both of us, through our career, that's we all would ask. This is our commitment, just to work in a way that encompass all religion, encompass what is the basic of all religion is love. So that is our motto in our working. Love changes everything. And that's also when we started the summit. This is a big one to go to the world talking about love in the heart. We call it the heart of education. But now when we expand this whole approach, we're talking about spirituality in education and mental health. People somehow, the science doesn't talk about spirituality, God, but now you can see that as the world going through difficult time, we need to go deeper in the understanding what is matter. What's matter for education that can change the world, that we can also help our children, our young people to believe in themselves. This is really to do with spirituality in themselves.
But on an individual level with the boys, we don't avoid the topic of religion. For instance, we had a boy come a few years ago who's a very ardent Christian, and he'd been bullied in about 7 different schools, and he was desperate for advice on what to do. So we said to him, be like Jesus. Jesus loved everybody. So don't worry about the bullies, just love everybody. Well, he just changed. He started greeting students as they arrived and the staff and eventually became a school leader. So we don't ignore it, but it's not part of the general approach.
Yeah, to your question, we hope that we answer that we are being given this opportunity in life. And also I said before that opportunity to come together, to connect in the one heart, in one spirit. Because we all know what the purpose, the meaning of what we're doing, what each one of your vision is. So the question is nothing to do with any religion, but it's, that is, we all know what is really the essence of life, the essence of education. And so hopefully that it answered the question.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions? Please feel free to share. Ray says, thank you for recognizing love over dogma. Okay. Thank you, Barb.
Hi. Thank you for your presentation. I'm not sure if I captured this right. You said something about monthly trainings via Zoom. I don't know if they're open to everyone. I have an orphanage in Haiti for children with HIV, and I was in Haiti late last month, and our staff, it's great, they're doing their best. And after my visit, I spoke with our social worker and our psychologist. We're in the process of putting something together where for the children separately and also for our workers. I don't know if you know much about Haiti. There's a lot going on, and the staff, again, like I said, they're doing their best. I think an ongoing something to help to take into account their education level, especially we have different staff levels. That would be great. Any recommendations would be good. And also, I won't be the one designing it. I'm not a mental health anything, but support for our psychologists, any guidance and what literature to look at or where, something more community focused.
Yeah.
Nothing esoteric.
Yeah. I think that's, that we both still, as long as we still have the ability, the strength, we offer our service. I mean that if you have interest that you think that we can help, just contact us. You can see also in our website, there's this website, heacademy.org.au. There's this more detail about our work. And there are also 4 online training for teachers. So going through really quite whole stages to become a human value teachers online. And you've got also a certificate in there. There's online training for parenting. There's also for parents who want to go through the child transformation. And all this is from our book, the teacher training based on our book, that's Human Value, handbook for a teacher in human value education. And the online parenting program is based on the book Parenting, Mindful Parenting, Mindful Parenting.
Nice.
And the other third of the online training is for teenagers. It will be so good, that book, because we work on that to do with tuning with what our teenager need. It's called a scope of self-help. And they can find a self-help through this. So teachers and parents can go through this, or a counselor can go through this online training. It is for people who work with teenagers, for parents who have teenagers, but also for teenagers themselves, if they're ready to go deeper in that process.
But what wonderful work you're doing. And if you or any of your staff there would like to have an online discussion at some stage, then we can share some ideas. And it's just amazing. We know a little bit about Haiti, but we know it's very, very challenging.
Yes, it is. And the mental health aspect is just it's heavy.
Yeah, just
incredible.
Just listening to your introduction just really warm our heart that you're doing the work. You're doing the work, and we always offer ourselves to work through this, whatever we can help together, because we call that we are one world in one family.
Yep, that's it. Thank you so much.
And I would just like to add that their services, the trainings, the workshops, everything that they have mentioned is free of charge. Okay. So that's another big, big plus for organizations that might not have a budget to pay for this. So for that, we are very, very grateful, because they offer it so generously.
Oh, we didn't mention it also, the school in Australia, Tugulawa School, that's free. Doesn't cost the boys anything to come. And the school in Nigeria, that's also free.
And I should say that the self-help therapy sessions online that are so helpful are also free.
Yeah.
We didn't mention that. That's good, Louise, you mentioned that. We didn't mention it a little bit more about the self-help therapy online. This is to do with 16 recording that Ron is going through 16 different situation, different problem. For example, how to be happy again, be mindful, to be here now, and all this thing that you can go through it, and it is free, and then it's so easy that you can hear it as long as you want, and also we provide also the strategy how to overcome for example, your fear or your anxiety or all this, and but also there's this one that's very, very good also, that even children listen to that, is the blossoming of the heart. There's and also the seeing with the eyes of gratitude. That's so important too, because gratitude is such the main what you call it, the main ingredient for our healing.
We've had some feedback about these recordings. One amusing one is there's some couple of kids being driven to school by both their parents, and the parents were having a bit of a strong disagreement. And one of the children said, put on that old man's voice again, to do with
seeing through the eyes of gratitude.
Seeing through the eyes of gratitude. And the children can see that it has a good effect on the parents.
We have a group from Japan. The moment every month we have 20 people there. from different background. And we have every month 4 hours, 2 hours for the preparation and mentoring the main organizer, and then 2 hours just the whole group. So we have been doing it also monthly. We have also monthly mentoring with different group and individual from United States, from Croatia, from Germany. So anything that you think we can help with your good work, we offer ourselves for your service.
Could I ask, why did you choose the age group that you did? Okay. I've been involved with this my life, and what I don't see is the age group below. It's like helping people before they fall in the river rather than trying to pull them out when they're in hell. Why particularly did you choose that age group? Can I ask?
Yeah, that's perhaps also the main reason also. When we started, let us perhaps share a little bit more. We started the human value education in Australia since 1985. So we run school for kids after school, community classes, children from 6 years old until 12 years old program. And then 1987, we met this philanthropic businessman who had the vision to help street children in Australia. But he didn't know how to start. And somehow he was prompted to contact us. So we did the research, how we can use his money, because he said, I have been given the money by God. I got the skill to make money, but I want to give back to the society by helping this troubled youth. But he didn't know, and we didn't know at the time, which age group we should start, because street kid is a lot. Can be from 8 years, can be old. So we did the research. We found out this is really perhaps the best group to start is really the group before they go to jail, before they go to the situation that much more difficult to help. So we look into that from different experience. That is the age group. This is the adolescent. Before they enter the adolescent, so 9 to 14. But at the moment, we got younger kid coming, kid who has been damaged by this alcoholic syndrome.
Fetal alcoholic syndrome, yeah.
Fetal alcoholic syndrome.
And drug-induced.
And drug-induced. Much younger, 6 years old, already uncontrollable.
So it's changed their brain. Yeah.
Changed the brain. And then also we find very hard when the parents have gone to different places and not getting help. So we also accommodated that young age too. But for that, we need a lot of specialists, specialists in the way, in working with the commitment to see, even in this difficult kid, through love.
So we started with residential care, but we found that the children that we had in the home, they were getting thrown out of school. We didn't know what to do with them, so we decided, we better start a school. That's how we moved into schooling.
Yeah.
But that age group is, as Suwanti is saying, the idea is to catch them before they reach the older adolescent years, where they're almost stuck there for a few years. Whereas in the age sort of 8 up to about 15, they're still open to self-transformation. In fact, they embrace it.
Yeah. At the time when we started the research, we got so many advice from people who have worked with the street kid. Because John Fitzgerald, our friend, the business friend, he thought that help street kid. But also the advice that we have that, when the children already go to street and live in there, it's very hard to get them back to really looking into, not so really not to do with drug, to all of these things that when they experience on the street. So that's also with the advice, we're looking into what is really the best age. But I think, your question, it's very hard to see the best age because we have to feel when you establish a foundation, of course we have to start something that's solid, like, okay, this is the age group that we want to focus. But I think that as everything, that when we trust that the universe will guide us with the goodwill. So they are also like with our school hours at the moment, there is a possibility also to that we're looking into of the online study online, that the children, because many of our students have anxiety problem, panic attack, depression. So they didn't want to come to the school. They don't want to come to the school. So we introduce our school gradually for them by having the home online training.
So some children, they just come to school for 1 or 2 hours a week.
Yeah.
That's how because they've been so traumatized by the school. In that school, they mean well, but unfortunately, children like these that we dealt with, they ended up just feeling useless because they're put to the back of the class, they're sent out of class. They just feel unwanted. And so they develop this fear of school and aversion to school. So it's like a child is nearly drowned in the water, you take them in gradually.
Thank you.
May I
So,
ask?
sorry,
I
Jen.
have William has a question.
Yeah,
Will
I have two
just
questions. I have two
may,
questions. The first one is how about the students' ethnic background in the Australian school? The ethnic race background. This is number one. Number two is what is the most difficult thing in teaching the students for you?
The first question, the ethnic background, they're all Australian. We have a Aboriginal background, but not many. But we don't have other ethnic.
No, Australia is fairly
Multicultural.
wide-ranging, multicultural. So we have children from all different backgrounds, their parents from different countries, and just some Indigenous children, not many, because in the cities, our school is sort of in a more suburban area. The Indigenous children mostly live in the outback, in the more western towns. But we'd love to start schools there too, but
And we feel that because our approach is based on these 5 human values, that all ethnic group, everyone embrace this. Everyone embrace of love, of course. We're talking about love, about the diamond. That you could feel that somehow that's connected with that. And your second question is, how do we teach this kid? What problem they have? It's very, very hard. I mean, the children who has not been able to sit. But they managed to sit during the quiet time. We call it quiet time, the assembly, where we talk about this ceremony in the morning. And they put their hand together, and then one of the students kneel in the front of the altar, and then say at the end, "Be under the goodness each other." And then also all these things seem to give a certain energy of healing to the student when they sit together. And people come from different university, the professor, they said some energy here that they haven't experienced in other places. And we say that this energy of love, because that's again our motto.
And it is quite extraordinary when you come and see over 100 boys all sitting quietly for up to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's whereas in other schools, you know, they're the bane of the teacher's life.
Yeah. Again, to your question, how we do this in the classroom, because we have a different classroom.
Not easy.
It's not easy.
Not easy.
It's not easy. Very individual student need attention in the way that we, at the moment, we can only afford it that one teachers and two assistants for 16, 20 students.
One of the approaches which you may have heard of is called the Virtues Program. It's pretty straightforward. The Virtues Program has something like 90 different virtues, all of which really relate to love. And what the teacher does is they look for the tiniest hint of a virtue in a child in the class, and as soon as they see it, they say, I saw that beautiful generosity, that cooperation that's going on there. Wonderful, wonderful, thank you. Now back to the lesson. So whenever they see any indication of the human values, like a flower just beginning to poke its head up out of the ground, you know, a plant, they say, I see that, that's wonderful, beautiful. And the children feel recognized, like it's like saying, I see the gold in you, I see the king in you. And it does something to a child when they're recognized for who they truly are.
Yeah, I mean that.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, but I need to interrupt because I think we only have 5 more minutes for our official time. However, I want to remind everybody, I will adjourn exactly at 9 to comply with our agreements. However, I would like Shala Deleposu from the U.S. Academy of Human Excellence has joined us. And Shala, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. However, if you can just briefly relate how the books of early childhood and parenting can address in a very special way how to support or attend or help children that are at an earlier age. I just have to give you a couple of minutes because I need to give Steve just some minutes before we adjourn. Would you be okay with that, Shala? Just unmute yourself.
I'll do my best. Hi, everybody, and I apologize for my tardiness.
Hi.
I was
No,
caught up in
Sean.
Shala.
hello. I don't think I'm going to say anything that the farmers haven't addressed already, and very eloquently and deeply. They are the creators of this, and I do have experience in terms of being trained by them. And I do have my 3 own children, plus being part of the academy for a number of years and talking to people and being a psychologist, going back into work to hopefully spread this also. But I would say, like in terms of early, that was a question, Eloisa, young children specifically. I think just reiterating what they're saying, there's such formative years. There's so much, I think, as parents that we unconsciously bring into the parenting process that we don't necessarily know with what we're doing. what these books can do, what this guidance can do, is not only create the awareness, whether you're working with teachers or with parents, of how we're coming across and teaching these children, but it's bringing out the inherent goodness and beauty and purity in the children themselves. So these children now are being raised with this awareness of they're not the things that we as adults bring to them. They are not that. They are something more. In fact, they are huge and beautiful and divine inside. And in these teachings, it also transformed the parents and the teachers and the adults, because we are then able to see the awareness that what we're bringing and what we lacked in our childhood and what we can grow and expand in ourselves. So what this does for the children, and I can imagine having these lessons as I was a small child, would be transformative in who I am today. So I would just reiterate what they said. I mean, what it does is these children grow up with a bigger awareness of who they really are, and they can let go of all the things that they aren't in what they're being taught, and they can actually come back and say, "Hey, mommy, hey, daddy, I am the gold, I am the king, I am not that," and that helps us then break that chain. So I'll just stop there.
Thank you, Shala. And